podcast. My name is Monique, and it's a beautiful Saturday here in Nova Scotia. It's May 27th, and I apologize if I'm stuffed up. My allergies are just out of this world. Of course, all the trees, the leaves, everything's just puffing into existence. So I have to pay for that with my allergies. But anyway, that's fine. I'm medicated, which slows me down a little. But at least I'm not sneezing my head off constantly, so that's a good thing. Anyway, so yeah, this is knitting. This has nothing to do with allergies. It's a good start, eh? Anyway, thank you for joining me. I hope you're sticking around. And yeah, I have a few things to talk about, but I might not talk for too long just because I know I sound horrible. But anyway, I went to Knit City Montreal last weekend, which was amazing. It's my first kind of big knitting event. I went to Knit East in St. Andrews, New Brunswick, I think in 2017, and that was probably close-ish to what Knit City Montreal is like. And I did the Woolstock East, which was done by, I always mix up their name, the Sisterhood Fiber Company, I believe it is, out of Tatamagouche, Nova Scotia. And again, that was at least 3 years ago. Anyway, so Knit City Montreal was kind of like the biggest one that I've been to. And I'm not a great person for crowds, so this kind of was a test. It was the litmus test for me to see if I can handle it and, you know, actually enjoy myself. And yeah, so I went by myself. I'm from Montreal, so, you know, it wasn't too much of an unknown factor for me. So yeah, I was at the Sheridan downtown, which was perfect because I could just walk wherever I wanted to go. So just to kind of give you an idea of, I just realized I forgot something. 1 second. And I'm back. My dog. Sorry, tangent. I went through, so I have 2 dogs, as if, you know, you've watched my podcasts before, I'm always talking about them. The oldest dog is the biggest dog. He's a Portuguese water dog. And he can have a toy last years. Ever since we've gotten the dachshund, he's gone through all the toys. He rips them apart. Well, okay, so this one had to have open heart surgery because the squeaker, unfortunately, did not make it. So I had to sew him up, and then we had to amputate an arm right here. And I had to amputate a bit his tail. I did that this morning. Away. Come on. There. I had to amputate his tail this morning. So I figured, all right, this should last a while. This guy, come on. This guy has been like through the ringer, washed several times. Sewn up several times, like here and by the tail, and yeah, lost an ear here. And so with this, I did this morning. Look what he's done already. Pulling this stuff out. I mean, I don't mind buying toys, but they should last a little while. Are your dogs like this too? It's crazy. And same with this one. He's had a craniotomy. I mean, come on. Oh, and his neck, it's always the seams where they break apart. Like this, okay, yes, you can have it back. Except for this one. You can eat the stuffing. It's not good for you. This one, you'd think, you know, it feels very thick and solid, but the problem is the seams. So like, wherever there's seams, that's where they rip. Anyway, okay, go. Tangent over, sorry. Right, Knit City. I'm gonna try and, you know, not belabor anything and go through things so that's not too boring for you. But if you're interested, so basically Knit City isn't just a knitting event where people set up booths and sell things. They also have courses or classes. And they have people in from all over teaching these things. So the first one, there's plastic, so sorry. I'll try and do it slowly and quietly. The first course that I signed up for, maybe fast like a Band-Aid is better, was on Friday morning, because that's when the whole thing started. And it's by Clara Quintella. I'm not sure how to pronounce it. She's from Brazil. This is her. And this is her. I'll put all the information at the bottom. So she gave us a kit for the embroidery class. Well, I mean, you pay for the class, you pay for the kit, that kind of thing. And this was the project that we did. So it comes on a cotton fabric that's already printed with the design, and then you add the embroidery embellishments. So here you can see I've got the star kind of half done. I've got a flower here, kind of a bit overly done, but yeah. So that was that project. I liked it a lot. Clara was very nice, very amazing, very friendly, chatty, personable, you know. It was nice to be in the class. Met a couple people. There's a couple of people from the States as well. There's a lot of people from the States, actually. I was kind of surprised. I even bumped into someone from Tennessee who went all by herself. Like, I don't know. I was kind of, you know, a little sheepish going by myself from Halifax. This person came from Tennessee. How wild is that? Anyway, so that was my first class, and that was a lot of fun. And that afternoon, I didn't really do much. I just walked around and did some shopping. I went and had the best smoked meat sandwich. That's one thing I miss about Montreal is the food, the variety, and you know, it's so good. I mean, Montrealers are spoiled when it comes for food. Sorry, I can't talk. So let's do a podcast. Anyway, so I'm gonna put some pictures in along the way while I'm talking about Knit City, just so that you could see what I'm talking about. I did take a picture of my sandwich just because, I mean, I sent it to my husband and I was like, look what you're missing out on. And yeah, it was really good. And so then that night there was a knit night. It was hosted by, there was 3 hosts. Claudia Joyelle, who is out of Quebec, Montreal, South Shore, somewhere around there. I think Montreal. She does mostly French podcasts, I think, under Claudie Knits, Claudie Tricot, something like that. Anyway, I'm going to put everything at the bottom for you, so if you're interested, just go look in the comment section, whether it's bottom or side, depending on how you're watching. And so it was Claudia, Sasha, and from Verona Knits, and La Bien-Aimée, Amy Jill. I'm used to saying it Gilles, but there's no S at the end, so I'm not sure if that's correct or not. anyway, tangents. My brain's all over the place. So anyway, they hosted the knit night. It was a very nice knit night. There were prizes. You were assigned a seat that you could choose when you ordered the ticket for the knit night. You could choose what table you wanted. I was at table 21, so there was a lot of people, and met some really nice people. A couple people from Toronto, a couple others from just around Montreal, and so yeah, it was really nice. There's a lot of people from Toronto as well, so that was nice. And the evening was very bilingual, which I thought was kind of nice, just because it is Montreal. A lot of you know, knitters in the province of Quebec have, you know, went to this thing, so it's nice that they were thoughtful of that and spoke in both languages, so that was nice. What else? Yeah, it was neat. At one point, the person sitting next to me said the exact same thing I was thinking about, so it was kind of neat to be on the same wavelength. I was just sitting back and I was looking at everybody, and everybody's knitting and chatting, and I've never been in a room with so many people knitting and just enjoying it, you know, and it was something that struck me as kind of wild, especially because I have there's no knit nights around where I live, and there's a little something at the local library, but I don't know, I kind of feel a little too shy to go there. I'll go to Montreal, but I won't go to the local library. How crazy is that? Anyway, but yeah, it was a room full of people. Well, so I was at table 21. There must have been at least 4 more tables, so probably 25 tables in total. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 or 8 people per table, so you can imagine, right? And so that was a lot of fun. Anyway, so then Saturday morning, I had another class. It was with Bristol Ivy, Fix That Knit. It was basically what the thought process is and what's key when knitting a sweater. If any of you have watched any of my podcasts before, especially when I'm talking about some sweaters that I'm knitting, you know that I have some anxiety around it because I don't want to buy all that wool and then spend hours knitting up a sweater. If it doesn't fit me, I'm gonna be really disappointed. So I just really want it to fit. And my size is not typical, I don't think. I'm short. Sorry, my dogs decided to lose their minds. What was I saying? Right, so the Bristol Ivy class was really interesting. She had us pair up with someone, and we took each other's measurements, upper bust, neck to shoulder cap, armpit to hip, hips, waist, all those things. And it's funny because I didn't realize it, but when your arms are out like this and then you put them down, it actually makes a difference with your sizes, with your measurements. So that's why it's good to have somebody else do the measurements for you, because are you breaking that apart? It's breaking it apart. Can't have any toys. No more toys. Okay. Apologies, it's not a professional podcast, as you can see. Okay, so the measurements, yeah, so it's really kind of interesting. I mean, I figured, you know, if I'm within an inch, who cares, kind of thing. But it actually does matter when you're talking about ease, whether there's any kind of positive ease or negative ease in the whatever it is you're knitting. So yeah, I learned a lot. Met again some wonderful people. There's a lady there from Australia. She's doing you know, the tour. I had told her I was from Halifax, and she said that they were going there next, her and her, I think, daughter. So that was fun. That was interesting. And yeah, Bristol was amazing. It was super, you know, chill. Knew what she was talking about. Like, you didn't ever get the impression that she was kind of guessing or anything. Definitely knew what she was talking about. You can tell that she's a designer and has a lot of experience. So that was nice. Anyway, so that afternoon that afternoon I went to the Jean Talon market. It is a produce, flour, fishmonger, everything you can think of market in the east end of Montreal, near the Jean Talon metro stop. Subway, for those of you who've never been to Montreal. We call it a metro. Anyway, that was fun. I'm gonna put some stuff here for you.
Prochaine station, Place d'Armes.
So yeah, that trip out to the Jean Talon market was really cool. Anyway, it was super nice. I met a friend that I hadn't seen, hadn't worked with in a while, so that was nice. And then Saturday night there was the event with Cabin Boy Knits, who put on quite the show. It was a lot of laughs and very, very, you know, a lot of music and just a fun night to relax and knit and have a good time.
I feel like you should leave yourself.
So that was nice. Sunday was the day I purposefully stayed away from the market on Saturday, just because I felt like I kind of had enough on my plate to deal with, and I wanted to be mindful to not do too much at once because I didn't want to burn myself out, especially with meeting new people and constantly, you know, going from one thing to another. So I definitely took my time with things, and I wasn't too shy. I tried to actually, you know, talk to people. But Saturday night, I think I was hitting like a bit of a wall. So I was worried Sunday, because Sunday was my day to go to the actual market and look around. And at Knit City, they had a whole conference room full of tables with vendors selling their yarns, selling their products. Anyway, so I went on Sunday and I took some videos. I met some amazing people. I mean, so many people. I won't, maybe what I'll do is I'll put their names in the comments, their Instagram IDs for you. And, but there were so many, and it was honestly what floored me a bit is I had met so many people. And usually there's one or two that, you know, you're like, okay, whatever. But that wasn't the case here. And I recognize people were selling things so they're on their best behavior, but you could tell like people were genuinely like just having fun, enjoying themselves, and this is my yarn or this is my, you know, stuff, and just super nice. And I was really, I don't know, I was touched by all that, and I had a really great time.
So it will still have like that loosey cut hooks on it. Yeah. I know, it's my feet. So I want to get hired as a dog. Okay, so that's
Wow!
Merci.
Ils sont écœurants.
C'est moi qui les ai dessinés.
Oh wow!
Je les fais fabriquer à Montréal.
Ah ouais?
La découpe laser, et après c'est moi qui fais toutes les finitions, les quarts de ronge, les
Oh
sables,
wow!
plusieurs couches de vernis pour
Bah
vraiment
oui.
les protéger de l'eau.
Oh, oui.
On peut mettre un bas humide dessus.
Oh, pardon.
Donc vraiment, ouais, c'est un produit dont je suis très très fière.
Ben oui, vous devrez l'être. Exactement. Ah, très belle, très belle.
Me sounds of
No, all good. I will pay for it. I'll see. I don't
No, it's okay.
Oh yeah. I'm purples and stuff like that.
Allô. Oh, merci. I would definitely recommend if you're ever interested, whether you're near Montreal or near Quebec or not, if you ever want to make the trip, it's definitely worth it. And the food, come on, just everything was amazing. The only thing I will say though is Sunday, going back to the airport, I decided to leave early, earlier than I needed to, just because I was done. Like, I had no more energy. The battery was empty. Thank God I did. So there's a bus, it's kind of an express type shuttle bus that goes from the airport to the metro station to the downtown area along the René Lévesque Boulevard, which is just one street down from St. Catharines. So it's super handy, and you know, you buy your ticket, you get on the bus, boom, you're downtown within half an hour. So I was taking that on the way back on Sunday, and I didn't know that on Saturday there was a huge slowdown of the traffic on the main highway that goes to the airport. So on Sunday, of course, I'm on the bus and I'm wondering what's going on. We're sitting in traffic, and then next thing I know, the bus driver is taking these side streets and these detours, and this old woman sitting next to me, she's like, oh, he's a cowboy. Boy, was he ever. But thank God, because I mean, it took an hour and a half to get to the airport, and like I said, typically it's half an hour max. And I had heard some horror stories afterwards about people being stuck in traffic on the highway for like 3 hours or more and missing their flights or being super late and running to try and get on their flights. So that's one thing I will say. In the summertime, Montreal, the traffic is never great. So just, you know, plan ahead. And sometimes using the public transit can definitely help you out, because if you're in a taxi stuck on the highway, you're not going anywhere. Anyway, so that was fun. I got on my flight, no problem. Of course, it was delayed a bit because it was fog in Halifax. Surprise. But yeah, got home okay, and took me a couple days to recover. I'm not as young as I used to be. Anyway, so I'm not going to belabor too much or talk too much about what I bought, but I will show you quickly, just to show you kind of like what's there. So no, that's not for you. I bought this bag from Lullabies, or Lullaby. Yeah. Lullabies. Anyway, I like this bag. It's very pretty. Very strong cotton kind of a bag. And she was selling these sock blockers. So I finally have a good pair of sock blockers. I said that to my husband. He was hurt. And I reminded him he only made me one. I need two. I have 2 feet. I need 2 sock blockers. So we'll see. Maybe I'll get, and maybe he'll finally do that second one. So look at this. Isn't this beautiful? Such an amazing job. And that's her name, and then of course a hook. size medium. She didn't have any small, but I'm a size 7, 7.5, and medium is 7 to 9, I think, so it should be fine. I'm running out of battery, so hopefully I can get through this. So I got 3 balls of, where's the third one? I got 3 balls of this. It's les mailles à part, I should say. Hand dyed, beautiful. It's 50% baby alpaca, 50% baby alpaca, 25% silk. Hello, back again. Editing this is gonna be fun. So apologies, I had to go see what the dogs were up to, and yeah. I typically try to video these podcasts when I'm alone in the house, and unfortunately when the dogs get into mischief, I'm the one that has to go and figure out what's going on and make them stop. Anyway, so as I was saying, I want to do a summer tea pattern, since it was part of the reason why I took the Bristol Ivy course. It was not just so that I can be more comfortable in knitting a sweater, but also I really want to knit one. And I was thinking, if I knit a t-shirt type, a short sleeve type of a sweater, you know, maybe that would be nice. But I've been struggling with, well, what type of yarn do I use? I'm on the fence about Superwash Merino, just because I hear how much it can drape or grow with time and wear. And I don't want that, but I don't want anything heavy either. So I was thinking like a cotton blend maybe, or a linen blend, something like that. But a lot of the cotton that I was feeling was a little rough, I guess, or heavy. And I did talk to a few people, and they assured me that it softens up once you knit it up and block it and wear it. So that's good to know. But I ended up finally choosing this one. It's from Les Mailles à Part. So this is the shop name. It's French for the stitches apart, you know, like when your stitches apart, steps apart, I don't know, feet apart. I'm not sure. I don't know her very well, or them. I'm not sure who they are exactly. But it's 50% baby alpaca, 25% silk, and 25% linen. And you can really see how the linen takes the color differently. You can really see how the linen takes the color up differently from the alpaca and the silk. And it's super soft, and I love this color, and I got 3. So I'm hopeful that I can make a summer sweater out of this. I keep saying shirt because I don't want it to be a sweater per se. I want it to just be a loose, not very warm thing. So yeah, now I have to find a pattern. I did look at some patterns to get a general idea of how much yardage of yarn I would need. So I do have a couple on my wish list that I'm going to try and choose from. So there you go. The other thing is Long Way Homestead. It's a Canadian company, I believe out of Manitoba. And this is the yarn that I got. It's, if you could smell this, it's very sheepy, but not in a bad way, in a really, really good way. So this is DK Co-op North? No, that can't be right. Coopworth. Coopworth The colorway is onion skin with iron. Milled in Manitoba and Ontario. Anyway, so I got 2 of these because I had to. I made the mistake of touching it and smelling it. I was trying to be smart. I was trying to, okay, I'm only gonna get the summer, you know, yarn and maybe a couple of other little things, but that's it. But I had to get that. And I also went to, oh, this booth. She had some amazing colors. Fleur et Bonbon, so flowers and candy. This is DK, 70% superwash merino and 30% silk. And you can really, I mean, how gorgeous is that? So this is the company, the yarn dyer, and it is, yeah, 70% superwash merino, 30% silk. And this is called Nuit d'été, so summer nights, the colorway that is. And then to go with it, I got this color, the exact same, DK, superwash merino and silk. This color is Givre. It's a gray, but it has a tonal color to it. I don't know if the camera will pick it up. Maybe it will. Here. But yeah, I thought those 2 colors looked really nice, and I really like the silk. I am allergic to cashmere, so I can't knit with it. Nothing bad happens. I just, if I wear it, I break out in a rash, and if I'm knitting with it, I start sneezing. Similar to mohair. So I was obviously looking for things that didn't have cashmere, so that's why I guess I'm ending up with silk stuff. Oh, and I got this in my last podcast. I was telling you about a shawl that I'm knitting from Celtic. Well, it's, so the designer is the Knittervention. The shawl is called Celtic Coast Shawl, and I'm using the BlueBrick yarn called Leather, and it's all based on a picture that I saw. It's a lot of information. I'm shocked I'm remembering all of this. So it's all based on a picture that I saw on Instagram from a knitter called Rogue Ambitions. She had knit this pattern with the exact same yarn, and it was beautiful, and that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to recreate that. It's taking a while. I'm not done. I haven't really done much since the last time, so that's why I'm not going to show you. But I wanted to get a leather strap to put around it, because on the mannequin that Rogue Ambitions had put the shawl on, she had a leather strap on kind of like the end here on the side of the shawl, because the shawl was wrapped around the neck. And I thought that's a really awesome way to wear a shawl, because normally I've been staying away from shawls because I don't really know how to wear them. Like, I just kind of wrap them around. I don't really wear them over my shoulders in a somewhat dainty fashion. I don't wear, you know, summer dresses of any kind, so I don't really need it for that reason. But to wear around my neck, I like that idea, and I like the idea of these leather, little leather belts. Here, let me see if I can show you. This is in a booth next to the Long Way Homestead yarn, and it's from Pearl and Hank, also from Manitoba. And yeah, really happy with that. I mean, it's full on leather, so that's pretty cool. Now, I went to the Yarn Indulgences booth. That's a lady from a yarn dyer from New Brunswick, and she was there with Nancy Wheeler, as I said. super nice lady, and you know, I had such a great time talking with her. It's so hard to approach people and be like, you know, can I take a picture with you because I do a podcast? I'm not one of those outgoing people, so I always end up being like, so I kind of have a podcast, can I take a picture? And it was funny because her and Nancy, they're like, oh, you should, you know, no problem, why be shy? And anyway, so I had a really good conversation with them, and they were super nice. And so I bought this at her booth. It is called U Knit, and this is hand dyed by her. She had wonderful, beautiful colors. This is a Sock Marl yarn, 400 yards, so a decent amount for 100 grams. This colorway is called Blooming, and I really love the subtlety of all these colors. There is a ton of colors in this thing, but they're not garish, you know, like they're not clashing in any way. They have a similar tone, so it really works out beautifully. Maybe, yeah, this is a better way to show you. So it's 80% superfine superwash merino wool and 20% nylon, hand dyed in Canada by Yarn Indulgences. Super soft too. It's really nice. Well, obviously it's superfine superwash merino, so it's gonna be super soft. Silliness. Alright, this is super nice. I'm really, really happy with this, and I'm looking forward to knitting up a pair of socks with this. Thank you, Debbie. So here's Yarn Indulgences card. I always try to get people's cards just so that I can remember them, because it's not always obvious, especially when you're going to and you're talking with many people. You kind of don't want to mix things up. Anyway, last but not least, I went to Ancient Arts Yarns, which is made in Italy, hand dyed in Canada. It's superwash fine merino, 80% and 20% nylon. I got these little mini skeins. I don't normally get mini skeins, but this was in a basket and it was a good price, so I kind of had to. And I really like these colors. Look at this. I could definitely do some kind of a fade with these colors. Super nice. And of course, super soft. So that's it. That's all I got. No big deal. All good. And, you know, even though I don't need more yarn, obviously I'm not going to go to a knitting show and not buy yarn. That would just be like a party pooper kind of a thing to do. So I tried to be choosy. There was a lot of vendors. I mean, I'm trying to remember how many aisles there were, because they had them kind of like different aisles. There was a ton. There had to be at least 50. If you go on the Knit City Montreal, Knit City, I think it's Knit City, because they do it in different cities. They do it in Vancouver. I think next year they're doing it in Toronto. If you go on their website, you can see all the vendors from last weekend. I'm pretty sure they're still up. And yeah, there was a lot. Anyway, it was a great time, and I'm very happy that I went. I felt a little silly at first, because I thought, here I am getting on a plane by myself just to go to a knitting event. And you know, I don't do these things very often, as I've said. Like, this is my first big one, so I kind of, yeah, I got into the spirit of it once I got there, so it was very nice and definitely worth it. So I'm gonna be putting some pictures, if I haven't already, I will put them here, of Knit City Montreal. I did try and walk around and kind of surreptitiously take some video, and so it's not great quality, but I'm gonna try and edit it so that the parts that are the most you know, jiggly are edited out. So I do apologize for the quality, but you know, I just wanted to kind of show you guys just how great this event was, and all the people, all the vendors that were there, and what they were selling, because they had some really, I mean, it was hard to choose. I think I walked through the entire conference room at least 3 or 4 times before I actually bought something. So, and like I said, people were super nice. I got a picture with Lisa from Espace Tricot. Now she's doing her own thing. Not sure. So I follow her on Instagram, and she's really into photography. She's been taking a lot of really amazing pictures around Montreal and outside of Montreal. And yeah, so if you're interested, go check her out. And yeah, it was just an amazing time. So now, since I've been home, I haven't really been doing a lot of knitting. I kind of feel a little burnt out from that. So I got back into my cross stitch. I just want to show you, remind you, this is just painter's tape to keep the edges from fraying. So this is a hanging cross stitch made by Satsumi Streets and the designer is Jody Rice. I got it off of Etsy, and I'll put all the information in the details box or just below or to the side. So this is what I had done. This is the pattern. So it's just a wall hanging, and it's a vertical kind of a thing. And it's supposed to end here. But because I had miscalculated and cut my Aida cloth too long, I wanted to add to it. So as I said, after the heart, you can't really see, but there's a stem, a flower stem that goes here, and then another flower, and then the petals or the leaves, and then another flower, and then it's going to end there. So I'm almost done. I just have some more little things to kind of add down the sides. So this is what I've been working on since I got home from Knit City, which seems odd, but to kind of, I felt a little burnt out from all things knitting, so I wanted to do something a little different, and I had been meaning on doing this, and I'd like to get it finished soon, so it needed to be done. The other thing, the last thing I wanted to show you was a pair of socks. So I had shown you, these socks are from Shirley Bryan Yarns. She does this amazing, amazing hand-dyed fade. See if I, there we go. So she does this amazing hand-dyed fade. And I had knit this pair of socks. They're based on, I think it's called Aunt Hilda's Basic Socks or something like that, by Kate Atherley. The only thing that I did a bit differently is the bottom, the sole. I carried on, so the slip stitch that you do for the heel, I carried it on throughout the foot, just to make it a bit more of a sturdier foot. And then of course I stopped here for the toe. So while I was on planes and everything else, I had already, I think, started the second one. And now I'm just, so I've turned for the heel. Here's the heel, the slip stitches for the heel. I've done my decreases. So now I've just got the rest of the, I just have the rest of the foot now to do. And I'm doing it on a pair of, it's just like a 9-inch or an 8-inch, I think it's a 9-inch circular needle. I believe it's 2.5 millimeters, something like that. If it's not 2.5, it's 2.25, but now that I'm looking at it, I'm pretty sure it's 2.5. It doesn't say, of course. I think they're Addies. I'm not sure. I'm not really, you know, I'm not I don't have a particular brand that I am devoted to. But I think they're Addies because I had gotten these online. So that's it. I don't have anything else. I hope you enjoyed the videos that I added, and hopefully I was able to edit some of it so that it looks, you know, not too wonky. And so I hope you enjoyed my little recap from Knit City and all the other things that I've been up to. Please subscribe if you are interested, and if you enjoyed this video, it really goes a long way and it helps me out tremendously. And if you can like the video, if you liked it, that would be great. If you have any comments, if you have any questions, anything that you're wondering about Knit City, just let me know. I'd be more than happy to answer you. I always read the comments and answer them, so like I said, feel free. I enjoy reading all of your comments, and it really helps to connect with you. And like I said, it's all about connecting, so it's nice. Anyway, I hope you're having a great weekend. It's the end of May, which is ridiculous, but it is what it is. Time flies. And yeah, have a great weekend. Happy knitting, happy crafting, happy making, and I will see you soon. Take care. Bye.